Mighty Radio.
Hello there, welcome. This is 5-Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside is my co-host Albert Cita. And far away in the East Coast in Orlando, Florida, we got Guillermo Cita on the line. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Going good, man.
No hangover from UFC 211? Sorry.
No, you know what? It was too late in the night. I decided I'll just watch the highlights after.
Albert,
You know, things go up really quick on media, so I was able to pretty much watch every fight in clips.
Instagram live stream. So I think that overall this is a pretty good bounce back from the UFC pay-per-view wise. I mean, 208, 209 were kind of disappointing. I don't even remember 210. Do you?
Well, even prelims, man. Did you see the prelims?
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
So
good 4 fights.
Overall, I think a good event for the UFC, a solid event. Especially leading to the summer. I know the summer's like their big months, so we got a lot to talk about. We got Stipe Miocic, Joanna Jedrzejczyk, Yair Rodriguez. We're going to talk about Dana White being a boss now and finally, stepping in with his middleweight division, and also talk about the UFC summer kickoff press conference that had a ton of news along in that. So let's start with round number 1, guys. So UFC 211 took place this past Saturday. It was main evented by Stipe Miocic taking on Junior Dos Santos in a rematch of their bout a couple years ago. This was not a long fight. Stipe Miocic now, I think, either owns the record or ties the record for most consecutive title defenses in the heavyweight division. At what number, Guillermo? Can you guess?
2?
2, you're correct. I don't know what that says. I don't know what that says about Stipe. He's a good champion. His division's just always been historically horrible.
I don't think it's historically horrible. I just think when you have
no dominant champion whatsoever.
Well, no, when you have one punch knockout power with every guy, the belt's not gonna stay in a person's hand or reign for too long.
Yeah, well, I think we go back to Randy Couture. He had contract disputes, and then he came back and beat Tim Sylvia, and then Brock Lesnar got the health issues, and then every guy who seems to get a championship either gets beat or gets healthy, like you said. So, so with 2 title defenses in a row, last week we kind of mentioned about Stipe almost being a placeholder. He's a champion, but for us, I think, Gabby, you were part of this conversation. You had to go, but Albert's saying he's kind of maybe holding the championship now till somebody else gets it. But now, are you starting to feel like this is the Stipe's reign here? I mean, he just knocked out JDS.
I've told you guys. No, I've told you guys for a while that Stipe was going to be champion. You can see it in the writing. Technically, Stipe is 2-0 against Junior Dos Santos because I felt like he won the first fight to begin with. And then I think this is the exclamation point. He's the baddest man on the planet right now.
Yeah.
And the only hot prospects is what's his name, Derek Lewis and Ngannou, the Predator. But I mean, the writing was on the wall. I mean, he's young enough to reign for a long period of time, and given everybody else that kind of beats each other, Stipe is going to stay there for the time being.
So I hate to be this guy because I like Stipe. I think he's cool. I think he's real.
You are that guy.
I
think you're a hater.
He's real. He's emotional. There is no facade. What you see is what you get with them. But I mean, Cain Velasquez had the blueprint to beat JDS. Pressure. And this isn't the JDS of old. For me, I feel in order for him to solidify his reign as the baddest man on the planet, he's got to beat Cain Velasquez, and he has to beat either an Ngannou or Derek Lewis. I know we're talking about maybe holding these guys back, but I mean, look at the top 10 now. I mean, you got
Are you listening to yourself, Alex?
Yeah. I mean, Alice Overeem's number 3, Verdum's number 1, but those guys are all old now. So I mean, I don't know.
All I gotta say is, Alex, if you look at the Wikipedia that Albert has up, and you can see his last 5 fights, look at the guys he's beat. These are guys that beat Cain Velasquez. These are guys that beat Junior Dos Santos. I mean, he's beat the top heavyweight contenders. What, you want to see him against Mark Hunt, Derek Lewis?
He's gonna beat him already.
But my point is that Derek Lewis and Ngannou eventually will get there. But he's beat the cream of the crop of the heavyweight division besides Cain Velasquez. And you're the number one critic of Cain Velasquez, and there is no timetable for his return. So why expect his return?
True. So with that point, Albert, what's next for Stipe?
First of all, I'd like to apologize. I'm a little bit under weather, so if I sniffle, I'm sorry for whoever's listening. But with that said, Guillermo, you just I'm gonna answer Alex's question, and I'm gonna make you look like an idiot at the same time.
That's impossible.
You pretty much pointed it out. He hasn't beat Cain Velasquez. Sure, you beat the other heavyweights, but in order to be the best champion in your division, you technically have to clear out everyone that's a top contender in your division, one being Cain Velasquez. And I really
So he has to beat.
and I really think
Yeah.
the obvious answer here is that he has to face Cain Velasquez in the near battle, if not in the very, very near future. And I think Cain will stay healthy enough for an October bout. But with that said, Francis Ngannou, stock is super high. I didn't even know he was ranked number 5, to tell you the truth. When I finally saw the rankings and saw how high he was, that's amazing. But there's plenty of guys for him to fight to really bring his stock even higher. But I do think without that Cain Velasquez bout,
You guys are crazy.
The heavyweight champion.
You guys are so biased, and I mean, I'm the biggest Cain Velasquez fan over you guys. Like, I love Cain Velasquez way more than what you guys do. But let's keep it real. He lost to Verdicio Verdum, and he was looked silly in that fight, regardless of the elevation. Regardless of the elevation and everything that took place in Mexico City, Verdum had to face the exact same odds. You know, the conditions.
If I fought you underwater, I might win.
There's no, that's impossible.
The environment should not matter. It should be an even level playing field. That's what I'm trying to say.
Second of all, is we don't know how healthy Velasquez will ever be.
Yeah, true.
So we're waiting for Stipe Miocic to fight a guy that we don't know that it will ever be healthy. Come on.
That's what you do.
No, come on.
When you do the Cain Velasquez Miocic fight, you also book Francis Ngannou and somebody else. Cain Velasquez drops out, Francis jumps in.
So,
No.
yeah, congratulations to Stipe. I must say, a real dude, cool dude.
You guys are just haters. He's the baddest man on the planet. Let's just keep it real.
Real quick, what do you call JDS now? I mean, this guy, since I think Cain Velasquez literally broke him back in the rematch in 2012, Guillermo. Since then, he's alternated wins and losses with every time he's lost, it's been a nasty TKO. What is he? Does he just like go to different camp? I think he's tried that. What does he do? Does he go to Bellator? What happened to this guy?
Well, the thing is, he like you said, he took too much punishment against Cain Velasquez, just in the whole heavyweight division. It's inevitable to stay, have a strong chin besides Roy Nelson.
Yeah.
Even though
That.
chin got a little bit loose too.
And the thing is, why doesn't he mix it up? Like, I know he likes to box, but I thought he was like black belt jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, like, maybe he needs to start bringing some of these fights to the ground. I mean, everybody knows that if you press JDS, you have a really good shot against him. So, I mean, he just needs to mix it up.
Yeah.
Use some of his other strength.
Nogueira Brothers syndrome, where these guys have been in such epic wars that it's finally catching up to him. And
he's only 33 years old.
Yeah, but I think those Cain Velasquez fights are finally catching up to Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
And his body is showing, his chin is showing that he was in 2 epic wars, and it's just catching up, just like the Nogueiras and Shogun. Those guys were done at 30 because of these epic wars they had in Pride.
Yeah.
So I think, to tell you the truth, I really think is that I think being at the best coaches, the best trainer, it's just science, bro. Your body went through a war, and it's hard to recuperate from it.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, the UFC.
So you're telling me science makes more of a big deal than the environment, like fighting underwater?
Well, that's part of science.
All right, Bill Nye. That's it for round number 1. We're going to come back and talk about the co-main event from UFC 211. Joanna Jedrzejczyk, or Jedrzejczyk, whatever, however you pronounce your name. I'm pretty sure.
Joanna Champ is the way.
Joanna Champ. Just call it Champ. Just call it a Champ. We'll come back and talk about her reign and where does she go from here. Before we do that, let's talk about 5 Rounds clothing line. 5 Rounds offer a unique collection of apparel and accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of mixed martial arts. They're constantly evolving and improving to become the best fightwear company possible in the MMA world. Check out the line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great accessories at 5rounds.net. That's 5rounds.net. They're also on Twitter at 5roundswear and on Instagram at 5rounds_. Get it on. Round 2 coming up. Welcome back. Time for round number 2. So UFC 211 saw the co-main event. Strawweight Joanna champion, defend her title easily again against Jessica Andrade, pushing a record of 14-0. She's getting better and better. I mean, yeah, she's a lot of decision victories, but when she goes to decision, it's 25 minutes of her just beating up the other person across from her in the cage. So it's not like a quote unquote GSP header. She's just grounding out, riding the champion, riding the bell to the bell sound. So she is basically dishing out punishment for 25 minutes. Saturday night was no different. I mean, yeah, the strawweight division has Paige Van Sant, Rose Namajunas, Michelle Watterson. All these women are great, for publicity wise and marketing. But come on, we all know really that when it comes to fight time, and once that cage door locks, it's all Joanna Jane. It's her world, and everybody else is living in it. I mean, what do you guys make of this? I mean, the Mighty Mouse just keep throwing her opponents. Maybe hopefully one of them might get lucky, like a Matt Serra, and knock her off, or what do you think?
No, I think I want to see the Rose fight. Then after that Rose fight, then I think especially for Joanna J, to me, even for Mighty Mouse, it's time for that bigger challenge. It's something that Anderson Silva never really did, is like go fight at light heavyweight, go fight those super fights. I think Joanna J can do that, and she would sell out. I mean, like, why not? I mean, like, what else does she have to prove at strawweight? I think she's the best in the planet at that weight class.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good transition, Guillermo, because the UFC has officially announced that they will introduce a women's flyweight division, 125-pound. I think they're going to do a tough season and then integrate the division. And I think there are already a few current bantamweights. I know Jessica I is one of them, who openly said, "I'm going to fight one more time, and then I'm going to go down to 125." So there is a chance where Joanna J might go up to 125 and fight a former bantamweight fighter. So, I mean, at least UFC's, one, it's a new women's division, but two, it's also another opportunity for Joanna J to get another belt, because I'm sure a lot of fighters who fight at 115 are going to go up to 125 to get away from her, but yet alone she'll just follow them right up there. Albert, do you like the 125 division? Do you think Joanna J has a shot in there, especially if she fights maybe a former bantamweight fighter who's going to be bigger than her?
Yeah, I honestly think that's probably what's going to end up happening. She's 2 wins away from tying Ronda Rousey's record.
Yeah.
Which I think Dana White made a big point that, that she really wants to beat that record. But she would need 3 more bouts in the 115. And I think that's enough time to have the 125 established as far as
get a champion.
Have a champion at least defend it once.
Yeah.
And then we can do that, have her move up, and she'll be the first ever women's 2-time champion.
Wow. Guillermo, what do you think about that?
2 division?
Yeah.
I think it's a joke if she's a 2-division champion, because then you have the whole Conor McGregor syndrome.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with her moving divisions. I'm not okay with her being double champion. I think, and it's funny, we all want like these, champion versus champion matchup, which is fine as long as only one belt. I mean, as long as the winner has to relinquish the belt they had held before, or something like that. Because you look at the middleweight, you look at the featherweight, the lightweight, for the men's side, it's all freaking held up and with all these imaginary belts. So
yeah,
I think I'm okay with her doing that, though.
I think it's gonna end up being that way because she's just so good, and like obviously you got Paige Van Sant. Well, it's kind of weird where you look at Anderson Silva.
Why do you keep bringing Paige Van Sant?
Well,
she has nothing to do with this conversation.
She has everything to do
because the division. Because my point is
because she's not going to reach the mountaintop, bro.
It doesn't matter because when Anderson Silva was on top in the middleweight division, he had no idea who any other of the middleweights were because none of them were marketable, right? So the reason why, even when GSP was on top of the welterweight, you have no idea who any other welterweights were because they weren't marketable. The thing about this division, which is so strange, is she's a champion, but this division can survive her being a champion. The strawweight division can survive her leaving because
she's gonna pretty much be the face of that new division, and like Alex is trying to say, Guillermo, that you're not listening, is there's going to be a new superstar in the strawweight division.
Yeah.
And it could be Paige Van Sant.
Michelle Watterson.
It can't be
Michelle
her.
Watterson, because they're already marketable already.
Good.
So
She has to be good, actually.
Well, I mean,
it takes more than looks. It takes more than looks.
She's still in her 20s, bro.
Yeah, once Joanna leaves the division, if she ever does, I mean, that's wide open. It's obviously the most marketable division the UFC has. So, I mean, it's just strange where they had their star, the biggest star isn't exactly the champion. So we talk about it all the time, but anyways, the reign of Joanna J continues. We'll see her probably at 125 in the near future. So that's it for round number 2. We're gonna come back and talk about how angry I am with Sean Shelby for making this matchup on UFC 211 with Yair Rodriguez and Frankie Edgar. But before we do that, I want to talk about one of our new sponsors and Mobilitas Mobility Tools, the best mobility tools on the planet. Durable, portable, myofascial release products designed with more grip to help you improve performance and recover faster. So visit your jointshouldn'thurt.com. Get you all the tools. They have the rollers, the peanut, all that great stuff on there to help you recover and get the best workout possible. They're also on Instagram at Mobilitas and also on Facebook, and visit youtube.com/your joint shouldn't hurt for great tutorials on the products. So round number 3 coming up. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about one more bout, and then we'll talk about the rest of UFC 211. So I am kind of ticked at Sean Shelby for making this bout happen.
Why couldn't this be Dennis Bermudez
yeah.
versus Yair Rodriguez?
Yeah, it was too soon. I said it was too soon for Yair Rodriguez to face Frankie Edgar, and this bout served nobody, by the way. It served nobody, Guillermo. It served nobody. All it proved was, 1, that Yair's not ready yet, and 2, it proved that Frankie Edgar is nothing more than a gatekeeper for the UFC. He even said it for himself. Yair will be a superstar, just not now, because if you want to be a superstar, you got to get past me, and that's it. Where does Frankie go from here? Does he get a title shot from here?
Before we get to that, let's clear up the obvious.
Yeah.
It was a doctor stoppage. We don't know what could have happened.
Oh, my God.
But that had a kick in there that would have shocked the world. He did catch Frank Edgar early in the first round. If you guys didn't notice, he did get rocked. So to tell you the truth, to this day, I don't know who would have won that fight.
Yeah, I think Joe Silva would have protected his stars better. Sean Shelby, you need to learn more how to match make better, because this fight should not have happened.
Oh my God!
Because if you're trying to create a new star, especially one that you want to be have a lot of investment in,
you don't bury him like this.
You have to give him different looks. And so far, we only see really a stand-up look, to tell you the truth, from Yair. And Dennis Bermudez would have been a perfect guy to put in there, a guy that's been in the octagon a lot of times and has a wrestling-based background. Then we could have saw exactly where he's at before you just feed him to the deep end, especially if you're trying to build him up. That's the whole problem with Paige Van Zandt. At one point, people really wanted some Paige Van Zandt. They threw him too deep in the water, and now she's in a weird position.
Guillermo, your rebuttal, please.
Well, first of all, is we have Sage Northcutt too going on.
Yeah.
Where they put a lot of eggs into that basket, and it ended up backfiring.
Yeah,
Second of all, I don't think it's too soon.
Really
I mean, Guillermo, last Saturday, Yair Rodriguez was Dana White's +1 to the Chavez-Canelo fight. How much more of a star do you want this guy to be? And then you throw him against the deep end like this. So, Sean Shelby, shame on you. Guillermo, go.
No, you're crazy, Alex. How are you going to know he's a superstar if you don't put him against the elite of the class?
You build him up.
But
He had
the top wrestlers, so
it doesn't matter. You had advantage.
Frank Edgar exploited that. That, to me, tell you the truth, that's a cheat.
Yeah, but how were we supposed to know that? Yes,
because
you and Alex, you guys are Monday. No, you guys are Monday quarterbacking. After watching NFL on.
I have never even heard that term.
That's a podcast business, baby. Podcast business. Our Monday quarterbacking. Come on, you know this, Guillermo.
Okay,
Every podcast out there's a Monday quarterbacking.
Let me teach you something. Basically, what happens is. The NFL games play on Sunday, and then on Monday they release on Sports Illustrated Monday quarterbacking, where you say they could have done this, they could have done that. Oh my God, I can't believe that they did this as their game plan. Anybody can go back the next day and say, "Oh my God, this was a."
And that's what we're doing now.
Or exactly what you're doing now, Albert. If you take this podcast a week prior. Everybody and their mama said, "Oh my God! If Yair Rodriguez beats Frankie Edgar, Yair Rodriguez might get a title shot next." He skipped everybody. Oh my God! But think about the potential. Okay, so yeah, but think about the potential had Yair Rodriguez pulled this through and beat Frankie Edgar. The sky's the limit. Now you see what the UFC saw that.
Yeah.
Yes, we were wrong. Yes, he's not ready for wrestlers. We see that, but it's unfair to say now that this matchup should have never happened. This
I still blame Sean Shelby.
Definitely should have happened.
I hope people can pick up our tone here. We get a lot of hate mail. But okay, go back to Frank Edgar. On a serious note, where does he go from here? I mean, yeah, you just beat an up-and-coming prospect. You said he said he'll be a superstar, just not yet, because he can't be me. But title shots can't be in his near future, right? I know Chad Mendes kind of called him out, like, "Oh, what a great fight! Can't wait to get back in there." But
let's keep it real.
Where does Frankie go?
I'm probably the biggest Frank Edgar hater. You're not gonna find a bigger Frank Edgar Frankie Edgar hater than me.
But you respect the man, don't you?
But let's keep it real. The guy's going to face the winner out of Jose Aldo and Max.
Oh, wow.
Let's keep it 100% real. He's going to face them, and there's no reason why he shouldn't face them because McGregor's tied up, and if you heard Dana White in the press conference, that Mayweather bout is pretty much locked down and set in stone now.
Yeah.
But with that said, Frank Edgar has nobody else to face in this division. There's nobody that
You're crazy.
To face in order to get another title shot. He already did it. So
No.
As far as I'm concerned, he's the next guy in line after the Max Holloway and Jose Aldo.
If Max Holloway wins, right? Because I don't think he's never fought Max Holloway.
Because Jose Aldo's, Frank Edgar's a 2-time, maybe 3-time guy you have to face no matter what.
If Frankie Edgar has 2 fights left, and this is to be one of the best ever, okay? Because he's been lightweight champion already at a time where he was always the underdog. He has 2 fights left. One against Max Holloway. Mm-hmm. So if Max Holloway beats Jose Aldo, I think that's perfect. Another title shot for Frankie Edgar. Now, if he's able to beat Max Holloway, dude, can you imagine Frankie Edgar beating Conor McGregor? What's Conor McGregor's weak spot? Being his back on the ground. Yeah. What does Frankie Edgar do? Great. Putting people on the back like he did to Yair, and then ground and pound. Ground and pound. I know Those Leprechauns podcast is going to hate me for saying this, but Frankie Edgar can beat Conor McGregor.
He can't even beat Jose Aldo, bro. And you tell me
Jose Aldo's a different animal. It's just because Conor McGregor's strength is stand up, and that's what Jose Aldo's great at too.
Holloway, bro. Frank Edgar can't even beat Max Holloway. You'll see.
So I think that's a good point because they never fought. So if Holloway wins, there's no reason why Frankie can't get a title shot.
Thank you, Alex.
He's basically he's on a 2-fight win streak.
Sense on this damn podcast.
I mean, but this is kind of if he doesn't win against Max Holloway, I mean, this is a guy he's a former champion, but he really needs to. I think he needs one more final push. This is Frank. This could be Frank Edgar's final run here, and I think we're over the time, right? Yeah.
Come on, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Faber got so many opportunities. Why can't Frankie?
True, and we'll see. Anyways, that's it for round number 3. I still base Sean Shelby. Now look at Yair's eye. Look at his eye, Sean Shelby. Look what you did, bro. Come on. Yeah, so we're gonna come back, take a small break. Also, UFC 211 other highlights, Guillermo. You want to talk about Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier real quick before we?
That
we're over time here, but
that's probably the worst fight I've ever seen in my life.
Why was it? Off air, why? You told us why it was the worst fight.
Okay, so one thing why I hate it is, forget sportsmanship, dude. You're in there to be the best, right? So this is my criticism to Dustin Poirier. When you respect the guy too much, it kind of feels like you're throwing the fight. Because I felt like Eddie Alvarez was knocked out standing up, and instead of having that killer instinct, and this is why Dustin Poirier, and again, this is my opinion, and if people are gonna hate or whatever, that's fine. Dustin Poirier will never be a champion in the UFC. And then for Eddie Alvarez, it's the decline, man. The fact that he had to do illegal knees, that's unacceptable. I feel like that was a scapegoat. He's lucky that Herb Dean did not see intention in those knees, because that should have been a disqualification, and Dustin Poirier should have came across as the winner.
All I'm going to say is, if you buy a ticket to any event, whether it be
don't you damn boo, Albert. Don't you damn boo.
You have the right to boo as much as you want, and I hate when people try to say, let's give it up for this guy. No, don't tell me who to give it up to. I'm boo whenever I want to boo. If I don't like the performance, I paid my ticket. I'm allowed to boo. I paid for the pay-per-view. I'll boo on my TV until my
You say that to Dustin Poirier's face, Albert. You say it to his face.
So I want to be clear, booing is one thing. Racial slurs, like a Boston Red Sox fan, is completely different.
Agreed.
Booing is boo all you want. Just don't be a Red Sox fan. And,
don't need to be a dick about it.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So that's it for round. So Guillermo hates sportsmanship. Albert wants to boo. That's it for round number 3.
I don't mind sportsmanship. It's just come on, too much respect is not a good thing.
That's it for round number 3. So we're done with UFC 211. We're gonna come back into the championship rounds. Talk about Dana White laying the foot down and picking on GSP for notes for some reason, and also the UFC summer.
About time, man.
UFC Summer Kickoff press conference, all that great stuff. But before we do that, let's talk about Rockin Green eco-friendly cleaning products. Rockin Green is award-winning manufacturer of eco-friendly cleaning products designed to make cleaning easier and greener. Rockin Green products are all natural cleaners made with biodegradable plant-based plant-based ingredients. Visit rockingreen.com for more information and shop to all their great lines of products. They're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Championship rounds coming up next. All right, welcome back. So last week, GSP stated that, hey, you know what?
Anytime, anywhere.
After October, I'll be ready to fight Michael Bisping, and that kind of PO'd Michael Bisping. I guess it kind of pissed off Dana White as well, because he has pulled GSP from the bout, and now Yoel Romero will face Michael Bisping. I haven't kept up to the dates on the date for the bout, but it looks like GSP's off, Yoel Romero is in. What do you guys make of this? You guys proud of Dana White for laying his foot down?
I don't know what type of relationship Michael Bisping and Dana White have, nor am I trying to imply anything, but they might sleep in the same bed together.
Ouch.
Wow.
Let's keep it real. Dana White.
I know you pay for the pay-per-view, Albert, but that doesn't give you the right to say whatever you like.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't implying anything.
Viewer,
I'm just saying.
Listener discretion advised this episode.
Take it the way you want, guys. Take it the way you want.
All
I'm saying is
they're very close.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, how is it that we went from I think from the very beginning, GSP made it clear that it was going to be a later bout. It wasn't going to be something that was around the corner in a couple months, and I think that was clear to everybody. Even Dana White mentioned it, and then all of a sudden now it's an issue when he puts a physical date on it, right? To tell the truth, I just think Michael Bisping starting to feel the heat, probably from FiveRoundMMA, and
I doubt that.
He went and talked to Dana White and said, "Look, bro, the only way you're gonna get the heat off of you is if you just face your Romero, and then we'll still set up that money fight with GSP."
You are
And
so
Bisping
blind.
Has tricked himself in believing that he really is the champion, and now he's gonna face your Romero.
So I mean,
Speaking of sleeping in the same bed, do you sleep with the GSP poster with you?
Just the one you gave me, bro.
So I mean, I guess it's a strong threat because the Romero Bisping fight has not been finalized yet. So this is all up in the air still. So there is a strong a chance they all might make up and maybe fight in August, September instead of October. I don't know, but I mean, do you like this Dana White actually laying the law down on Guillermo, saying hey, or is it kind of subjected to certain fighters? No.
I totally agree with this. I 100% okay with him pulling GSP out, and I'll tell you guys why. This guy's been out of the game for 3 years. This fight was announced in early 2017, targeted for sometime mid-July or sometime in July.
Guillermo, here's a quote real quick from Dana White. I made the GSP fight. We did a press conference. The thing was supposed to happen in July. Michael Bisping is going to have to defend his title now. We're not waiting for GSP, end quote. So
I totally agree. This guy had basically 3.5 years to prepare for a fight and push everybody else back. And then, hey, by the way, I need extra time because I want to make sure that I'm ready in October. Like, that's pathetic. Who else has that pull or is, hey, you know what? Give me a title shot because I want to come out of retirement. But you know what? Instead of giving me 3 months, give me 8 months to prepare. It's like who no one in their right minds demands that. I mean, like that makes no sense to me. And then the other thing too, it kind of shuts up Anderson Silva too because I'm gonna retire. Yeah, Dana White, tell him to retire. That's exactly what you want, right? Because he was threatening, and now all of a sudden Anderson Silva's all quiet. Oh yeah, you know what, he is, doing the right what he's supposed to do instead of holding up the middleweight division. So I'm all for it. I'm tired of GSP. I'm tired of Anderson Silva. They're past their prime. It's like let the new guys come in and do their thing.
So Albert, will this leave the window open now for a GSP Anderson Silva super fight?
Nope.
Is that true?
Two jokers.
No.
They're two jokers.
To tell the truth, that's actually more reasonable now, to tell the truth.
Not if GSP's scared of fighting Anderson Silva.
Let's keep it real.
For nothing. They'll just fight just for money.
If Michael Bisping loses to Romero, there is no way that bout ever comes into fruition. And I kid you not, if Romero is a champion, he's going to go through the gauntlet of the middleweight division. GSP is not going to want to do that bout anymore. And in order to make a real impact on his return, you have to do the Anderson Silva battle.
Yeah.
If anything, I think this worked into UFC's favor now to do all these other matchups, and the fact that so I think they should go and thank my boy Kevin Gastelum for actually not being able to go through the bout with Anderson Silva, because that potentially will leave the Anderson Silva and GSP fight for October.
Yeah.
And I really do think that maybe September, because isn't September one of the big cards that they try to do too?
I think
Well, because it's a Mexican holiday, bro.
Well, yeah. Well, they
Mexican
got to compete with Canelo and Triple G now.
So, to tell the truth, I think it's 80% that we're gonna see that GSP Anderson Silva.
Now with them pulling out.
You're crazy. It's not gonna happen.
Sorry, I'm just speaking logic right now.
You're crazy. And
No, I can never see GSP ever doing like an open Grand Prix either.
Oh,
This guy's such a little
It's
crybaby.
gonna be a catchway bout, bro.
190?
Like 190.
180?
185.
Well, 185 is
180.
the middleweight
That's
division.
Not bad.
It's not gonna happen.
We'll see. The future will only tell us what happens. That's it for round number 4.
Then GSP is gonna complain that Anderson Silva's too long and stretchy.
He's gotta gain more weight. I gotta get my limbs longer, guys. I need 5 months to get my limbs longer.
Yeah, I need to be 6'3". I need to be a wingspan of 5'11" or something like that.
Give me 4 more months and I'll make it happen. That's it for round number 4. We're gonna come back and talk about the UFC summer kickoff press conference that had a ton happen, which is kind of fun. Everybody's taking a Conor McGregor note here and trying to steal the show, but it makes for great sound bites for all of us. So before we do that, let's talk about Redemption Martial Arts. You saw a lot of bullying at the press conference, but you won't see bullying at Redemption Martial Arts because the RMMA Foundation is a non-profit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness
There was
to
no
the
bullying going on.
epidemic and providing people with accessible training and resources to help them combat bullying confrontations. Team RMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. If you're interested in being a member of the RMA team or want more information, please visit redemptionmartialarts.com. They're also on all forms of social media. That's redemptionmartialarts.com. Rise up against bullying, 5th and final round coming up next. All right, welcome back. Time for the 5th and final round. But before we do that, I want to direct you guys to FightBookMMA.com, the only place where you'll find real combat sports news from all over the world. A website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, boxing, and kickboxing. They cover everything, local promotions, the major ones. It's all there. They have a great podcast section with a bunch of combat sports podcasts all on one section. Go ahead, just bookmark it. That way you don't have to go around searching for news because it's going to be there. It's going to be accurate. Don't even worry about it. They don't report anything. They're not worried about being the first ones to report. Yeah. They're worried about being the right, most accurate news up to date. So that's FightBookMMA.com. They're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's FightBookMMA.com. So UFC Summer Kickoff Press Conference Tour round, 5th and final round now. A lot of stuff to talk about. I want to talk about our boy, the very first guest ever on this podcast, Kevin Lee.
First ever.
We did a written article about him. We did had him on as a guest on here. Guillermo scouted him out from the internet and said, hey, this kid's going to be something. And he's in the UFC now. And now he's headlining.
Headliner.
And so this kickoff press conference tour, it seems like a lot of guys took the Conor McGregor cue and said, hey, you know what? I got to stand out. It's kind of funny. If you look, everybody's wearing suits. Everybody's wearing nice. All the women fighters are wearing nice dresses. But Kevin Lee comes out in jeans, sunglasses, a bandana, like an open Hawaiian shirt, necklace. And we're gonna play the famous clip now when he talked about Michael Chiesa's mom. Supposedly. So I'm gonna play it for you guys here. So ready? Here we go.
After that, he's going back to the prelims. But I just hope he shows up because I know his mama got tickets. So
shut the fuck up about, hey, don't talk about my mom for one. Don't you ever talk about my mom. Don't you ever talk about my fucking mom. Don't you ever talk about my fucking mom.
Mama, dad, whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to smack the fuck out of you right now. Don't you ever talk about my mom.
Yeah,
What's good?
What's good?
So Michael Chiesa rushes out Kevin Lee, and they meet in the middle, and Kevin Lee swings. Guillermo, what do you like this new Kevin Lee, man?
There's nothing new about it. He didn't say nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just stating the obvious. Usually you have family members to go watch you fight.
Yeah. Well, it is true.
You could have said grandmother, you can get grandfather, brother, sister, whatever. Yeah. I think Michael Chiesa would have been offended no matter what. This just, to me, if anything, it proves that Kevin Lee has everybody on notice in that weight class, in the lightweight division. I think that everybody, he's already in the mind, or he's already messing with the mind of Michael Chiesa.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, the
thing
too,
and people feel offended or feel like they have something to prove against Kevin Lee. So to me, the mental game, Kevin Lee's already won. I mean, if this guy, out of everything that Kevin Lee said, can only pick out mom,
Yeah.
it just proves to me that he's not focused into exactly what Kevin Lee was trying to prove with this point.
Yeah, Kevin Lee did say all I said was his mom was showing up. That's all I said. And if you go back and hear it, that's all he said. Nothing derogatory. He just said his mom.
A good rant on Michael Chelsea.
Yeah.
But Michael didn't listen.
Yeah.
Like, he was just saying.
He just heard mom.
Yeah.
Also, this is on the heels of Kevin Lee going on, was it MMA fight? The MMA Hour. Shoot him apart. If you go back here, our podcast, we should actually resend the tweet out. I mean, or resend the link. It was a few years ago. Kevin Lee's super hyper. He's a real smart kid. Real smart guy. And Albert, you said he gets it now, right?
Yeah.
You can see he gets it.
No,
super
there's
smart.
nothing to get. He's not. It's not that he's super smart. He's being himself.
Well,
a lot of times.
I know. I think being himself, being yourself.
Layer on top of that.
He gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. Like
DC finally gets it.
Yeah.
Kevin Lee gets it. These other fighters don't get it. You have to sell yourself.
Yeah.
You can't put value in yourself if you're not an entertainer.
if he ced out wearing a suit, he would have blended with everybody else.
Yeah.
All the guys they all look super nice, super tailored, nice suit. What does he do? Comes out wearing the complete opposite.
Yeah. And the reason Conor McGregor stood out at first because he was the suit originator.
Yeah.
We didn't see a full suit like that before in any other fighter. Did they have little pieces of suits?
Oh,
Suits
yeah.
that didn't fit fighters all the time. man.
GSP and Roy McDonald did wear
Yeah,
suits.
yeah. Like, come on. They weren't all put together
Yeah.
as Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Kevin Lee it gets it. He needs to stand out. He needs to show himself. He needs to get that money. And this
Yeah.
is how you get the money, people. Not just, it's one thing to be a good fighter, it's another thing to be an entertainer.
Yeah. And that goes
Yeah,
with, he gets it.
No, and you guys are right, because if you think about it, look how where Kevin Lee's ranked in the lightweight, and he's main eventing a card. I mean, like, you usually don't see that with an up and rising guy unless the UFC sees something special in you.
Yeah.
So I think that's important, because if you look at like Ian Kita, who fought 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, he was like towards the bottom of the card,
Yeah.
and then you have he defeated Kevin Lee. And yet Kevin Lee's the one main eventing a card, But
also
and higher ranked.
There's also raging out, going out, and getting in touch on himself that people are still talking about him now. It wasn't because of his performance, because the stuff he said afterwards. So, so I want to jump ahead to. There also was Amanda Nunes got in the face of Valentina Shevchenko. I think she shoved her fist in her face. So there.
Shevchenko's gonna get that.
Yeah, so she was super heated on that one too. But the other one too, I want to talk about how. I know we're gonna go long here, but the John Jones openly admitting to his cocaine use, making light of it. Other fighter, I think Brendan Schaub, the realest quote ever is when he said here on this one here. So we're gonna talk about DC. DC actually really worried about John Jones even showing up to the fight. So I'm gonna start it here, guys. So we're gonna play it here.
Well, so I'm sitting here and I see him. He's over there. But is he really gonna be in Anaheim? Is this guy really gonna go to the fight? Is this guy gonna mess this up again by doing steroids or snorting cocaine or sandblasting prostitutes? What's this guy gonna do? What's this guy gonna do to mess this up this time?
Prostitutes? I beat you after a weekend of cocaine.
And prostitutes. Wait.
Jeez.
I thought that first time was the first time you did cocaine. So wait, you had been doing cocaine.
I had two.
Okay, I get your super
I had
drugs.
two great
Congratulations.
weekends. Back-to-back weekends. Cocaine one, your ass the next. It was great.
So this is a guy who UFC had no problem putting on posters and stuff like that. Maybe I'm a little biased because John Jones.
And then you'll see, watch. The next thing you see John Jones, he's going to be very kid-friendly, blah, blah.
Well, before that, he was all like, "What's up, Houston? How's it going? I'm really happy to be here." And then Brendan Schaub tweets out, "This is the realest quote ever." Michael Johnson's in the back laughing at this. So I am
rolling my eyes so hard right now.
I know they're not.
Why?
I know. There's a part of Charles Barkley. They're not role models. They're not. But this is a guy you want. To to be decked out in Reebok, openly say, you know what, yeah, I did cocaine, and then I beat you up afterwards.
Instead of saying he did a mistake. That's what it's annoying. He had said before, sorry guys, I made a mistake, that, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then he tries to act all cool about it. Yeah, bro, I take dick pills. Yeah, I did cocaine.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, pick a side. Are you remorse about your actions, or you don't care about your actions?
I don't think he cares about his actions.
Hey, yeah, if that's what it is.
He can do whatever he wants. And look at, yeah, he can do whatever he wants, and he still gets a prime seat at the press conference. That's just me. Guillermo, what do you think?
Well, what I think is, it's not his fault that he's talented as much as he is, and it's kind of unfair that he gets put into the spotlight like you guys. Oh, he's a look for Reebok, or the head guy for Reebok. He's the head guy for the UFC. I mean, the guy is just talented. I mean, like, I don't think he ever.
Say that, yeah.
Well, but I don't think he ever chose to be like, hey, I want to be this perfect role model and everything like that. It was just, that's what happens when you become a superstar.
You put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
When you become a superstar, that's
the position as being a kid-friendly character. He put himself in that position. Stone Cold never put himself in that position. Stone Cold kept it real from the beginning to the last promo when he shot out.
I hate when he brings up wrestling.
He showed up to WWE. He was CM Punk when he was in WWE.
These guys are
he was
acting.
CM Punk after he left WWE, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to keep it real sometimes.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Here's my point: is regardless if he's a role model or not, this guy's the best fighter on the planet. Whether DC wants to admit it or not,
Yeah,
I understand why. I want to say that
He's probably one of the
I
best
understand why
fighters.
DC wants.
He's really good.
I mean, I understand why DC wants to fight him and everything like that, and all the opportunities that John Jones has gotten compared to every other guy. And DC, keeps saying like, it's not fair. Why do you guys boo me? Don't boo John Jones. He's not the doing things incorrect. I'm the one doing things correct, and no one cheers me. The problem is that John Jones is the best on the planet, and that's what it really comes down to. As long as he remains on top.
Again, Guillermo.
No, I'm not missing the point, because the minute this guy loses, all his cards, everything, all the backing that he has from all these sponsors, from all the organizations that he's the face of, will dump him in a hurry. You're only as good as, or you're only relevant as long as you're good. The minute he's not good, he's irrelevant.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I think
they're irrelevant now. Where's T.O.? Irrelevant. I mean, these guys are irrelevant, and it'll get to that point for John Jones.
I think for John Jones, I think a lot of the people need him to get a dose of what the Iron Sheik says, humble pie. To get his back broken and made humble. Because, I mean, this guy, he can do no wrong, because whatever he does, the UFC bails him out, and he'll have a primetime spot in Southern California, UFC 214, I think it is. He'll show up to Anaheim.
Just so you know, Jimmy Manawan's going to be on that card, and specifically because in case one of these opponents don't fully make it, or for some reason can't do the bout, Jimmy Manawan's going to step in. I mean, that's exactly why Jimmy Manawan is in this card. Just so you guys know.
And you can't blame DC for saying he's here. I see him here, but what's he going to do? That's his rep now. What's he going to do to screw this up? And who knows if he didn't show up again. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, John Jones has his haters. He has his supporters. I mean, that's the whole point of fighting, right? You cheer who you want to cheer. You boo who you want to boo, right, Albert?
That's exactly right.
So we'll see. This fight does actually take place, but it's heated.
And Albert will still buy those pay-per-views with John Jones in the cover of, because he wants to boo the guy.
Hey, man, that's how you do it.
If I want to pay $60 to boo, man, let me do it.
Let him do it.
Let me do it.
That's it for this week. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. It's FIVE Round MMA. Like us on Facebook, and please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. And a big shout out to all of our sponsors and partners who make the show possible on a weekly basis. Albert, what do you got?
I just want to thank everybody for listening, and I'm very excited that we can see Macho Man on the YouTube channel now.
Front and center.
You guys haven't even spotted him.
He moves around.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.